Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today and Tarot. My name is Mel Rose. This is the Tarot portion in the second half of my daily astrology vlog, which you can check out on my other channel, Astrology Today with Mel Rose. Here, I will discuss the tarot card that sits on the side of the page. Then I'll do a quick review of the day's aspects before I play another card that may give us something more to think about. So let's get into it. The tarot card that currently sits on the side of the page is the Nine of Pentacles, and it's here because it relates astrologically to the second 10 days or the second decan of the sun's transit in the land of Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign, and pentacles or coins in tarot represent earth element symbolism. And earth element symbolism is about our bodies and the other physical resources we have, and what we're willing to do with them, what we're willing to work to create in our lives that gives us a sense of stability and support, okay? So that we don't just have the things that we need, although first and foremost we have the things that we need, but so that we can also have some of the things that we'd like to have, and we can live in a relatively secure way. And so we come to the Nine of Pentacles. Here we have a person who has put in the labor, sort of indicated in the Eight of Pentacles, right? There's no reward without effort. And so when we get to the Nine of Pentacles, we see that this is the reward for the effort, right? They put a lot of sweat of the brow work. They put a lot of wisdom and understanding. They tried and they tried again until they got this beautiful garden together full of ripe fruits. There's ripe grapes there in the picture, and also these pentacles look like ripe fruits ready for the plucking. Just saying that I've built something of value for myself. I've built something of value that puts me in a position of feeling as though I have everything I need, and even some of the stuff that I would just like to have that makes me feel more secure in the world. So kudos to you if you're the person in this position. If you've done the labor and now you are sort of enjoying the fruit of your labors, thanks for being that great example to the rest of us in the world that that's what's possible, that we can work on something physical. We can really try to manifest something solid and real in our lives that will leave us feeling protected and supported and secure. And with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the cards while I remind myself and the cards that the sun is in Virgo. And while the sun is in Virgo, the full moon is in Pisces. Now, Virgo and Pisces, they sit right across the wheel from one another. They are one another's complementary opposites. So where one sort of leaves off, the other one picks up. And the example I'd like to use is so sun in Virgo is bringing a lot of organization, especially to our outer lives, our work, social, and civic lives, the way we interact with the world. And whereas Pisces in our inner lives is kind of allowing things to find their own place. Virgo is bringing about this intentional problem solving, while Pisces sort of waits to see how things will work out. And where Virgo is showing initiative, Pisces is saying, well, let's take a break. Both of these are valid approaches, depending on what you're trying to be, do, or have. Ideally, and especially at a time like this, we can find a balance where we do enough to bring stability and order to our lives, but not so much that we don't get to enjoy being alive, right? Venus is also in Virgo, so we really want the relations we have with friends and loved ones to serve a practical purpose. When we spend money, we want to receive maximum value for our purchase. In general, whatever it is that we are investing in, we want our investments to make sense to us at this time. So on the moon side of the page, again, it's a full moon in Pisces, right? It's a very watery, connected vibe. We are really feeling the vibes of the people around us right now. We really want to feel those connections. We're very open and kind and loving, perhaps even a little boundaryless in our hearts at this time. So it's going to be important to keep an eye on that. But Moon goes sextile to Uranus early this morning at 6:51, and this is a time when we're drawn to unusual approaches in the heart and home. We want to do something different. We maybe want to change up the plan, or maybe those things are just happening in our hearts and our homes anyway. It's a good idea when Uranus is involved with the moon to communicate with those that we keep closest, especially about any changes of heart or mind that are coming about for us at this time. But that sextile vibe says that whatever comes up, we can get through it with a little cooperation and probably have a positive outcome. Moon goes conjunct to Neptune at 3:55 this afternoon. We feel compelled to connect. It's more of that full moon in Pisces vibe. We just are really getting, like Neptune in Pisces retrograde. So we've got this intuitive clarity, and we can connect really well with that intuitive clarity so that we can feel in our hearts like the benefit of the things that we dream of having for ourselves. And then a void of course moon goes sextile to Pluto around 7:30 this evening. Deeper modes of connection are available to us. We want to cooperate. We want to get along with somebody. And we want to do that in terms of the stuff that's coming up for us. Fears and insecurities, understandings that we did not see before, things that we didn't know before, stuff that is there to sort of transform stuff that is there to sort of change our perspective and the way we move forward. And then we have this nice 5 hours void of course. So that's a good time while the moon is basically between signs to reflect, to meditate, to journal, to get into those creative and intuitive practices that help you calm your mind and focus your intention, help you see who you are being right now and who you want to be after this going forward. And then moon goes into Aries at 1:47 a.m. It's a restless energy, okay? We really want to be starting something at this time. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so rather than this relaxing and reflecting that we do under the sign of Pisces, we want to be a little more up and at 'em, alert. We're thinking about our goals. We're thinking about the conquests we'd like to make and how best to move forward at that time. And that's a 2.5 day transit starting early tomorrow morning. And so it's starting early tomorrow morning. This void of course period does span the midnight hour. And that always brings to my mind, spell work and ritual. So I just want to say that any prayers or intentions that I send up tonight really are going to be in the vein of celebrating the connection and the love and the ability to dream that has helped me get to where I am at this point, okay? We can look back not just on the past month and how well that's gone for us and what we've achieved, but Pisces being the end of a cycle. The last full moon in Aries was October 10th of last year. So look at the last, 11 or 12 months and look at how much you have grown as a person, especially in terms of your, emotional capacities and your intuitive capacities. Celebrate that at this time. And also any intention or prayer I send up at this time is going to have to do with wanting to release any outdated thoughts, attitudes, dispositions, habits, ways of being that are no longer working for me in my quest to have an expanded life, to sort of be, do, and have the more that I'd like to be, do, and have, right? Okay, so there are some suggestions for spell work, ritual, prayer, intention setting, whatever it is you want to do with the full moon tonight. Make it about gratitude. Make it also about releasing things that no longer serve us. And then it's at 4:59 this morning, very early this morning, actually, the sun goes opposite to the moon. That is the turning point. It's the culmination of that full moon. It's the time when we really begin or we culminate this celebration of ourselves and who we have become at this time. So the full of the moon is sort of the day before today, and the day after today, the moon will be full all day. It's appropriate to celebrate. It's appropriate to take this pause and to really enjoy ourselves and enjoy the company of the people that we keep close to us as well. And then on the page today, we have a few shapes to look at with the aspects that are going on. Currently, first of all, the sun is opposite the moon, right? And that is the culmination of that full moon. After this point, the moon will be waning and we're going to start reviewing what worked for us, right? But at this time, we're just thinking about how good it is, what we have to celebrate, what we have achieved so far. The sun's opposition to the moon here, though, really just sort of shows how we can be doing one thing in our heart and home and something else entirely in our outer life, and those things work together really well. Mars is square to both the sun. No, Mars, not Mars. I'm sorry. Sun opposition to moon here. Uranus is trine to the sun and sextile to the moon. Pluto is trine to the sun, sextile to the moon. So we've got this grand trine with the sun, Uranus, and Pluto saying it is possible for, a deep and total change to be happening in a quick and exciting way for us right now. We might be getting new shifts and perspectives all over the place. And those shifts and perspectives, those changes that we're going through, those things that are giving us a different outlook and a different approach to life are really blessings that we are in a good position to receive at this time. But, just being blessed can kind of make one a little bit lazy. So, we add to it the sort of kite shape here with the moon conjunct to Neptune, making a kite, a sextile kite to both Uranus and Pluto, while being in opposition to the sun. And this gives us a little lift with just a little thought, with a little bit of air energy, a little bit of intention setting. Okay, these blessings can really come into our life and be, be really made manifest in our worlds. So, the lift we're getting right now, though, is from that being in touch with our hearts and being in touch with our sensitive selves and being in touch with the feel and the vibe of the people that are around us at this time. So, really kick back, relax, celebrate, appreciate where, how far you have come, appreciate what you have in terms of material support around you, and really appreciate what you have in terms of emotional and moral support you have around you, the people that you like, love, and can't get enough of, and who are there with you right now. Really give that your appreciation. And that's the time when you're relaxed and you're sort of letting go and just having fun and enjoying it, when these blessings of sort of transformed outlook and approach to life can really start flying into your life. And then also on the page today, Venus is quincunx to Jupiter. So this is our sense of possibility and expansion and growth, sort of in this really oddball, almost opposition with our desire to receive the things we like, love, and can't get enough of. And so there's a temptation here. There will be a temptation arise to maybe spend extravagantly, or, and maybe it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy a $5,000 bicycle for my living room so that I can get in shape, right? It's like, I'm saying this is for my personal expansion and growth, but really I just want to have this nice new thing in my house, right? So I'm just going to advise here against self-indulgent purchases or connections with other people at this time. And then the moon is square to, it's interesting, it's square to Venus, but it's sextile to Jupiter. So it's cooperating with Jupiter while Venus and Mars are actually kind of square to one another. They're kind of struggling with one another, right? That's our receptive sense and our sense of initiative. So sort of the classic duo of do I want to get, or do I want to be in pursuit of the things? And, Mars is just here to really remind us of our dedication to the expanded life we'd like to live, or the expanded set of resources we'd like to have, the expanded knowledge, education, travel, business that we would like to have in our life. We're here to remind us of our dedication to those things, so that we can act in a way that is in alignment with what we have stated we want to do, and not just what we feel like we'd like to do right now, right? So remember your commitment to that expansion. Don't spend outside the budget right now. Don't make any new self-indulgent connections with people who might represent sort of a backslide in your ability to pursue those higher goals at this time. And then also Mercury is in opposition to Jupiter right now, with Mars in a trine position and sextile to Jupiter. So Mars is trine to Mercury. That's a blessing of sort of foresight and clarity of purpose as we seek to move forward toward these expanded blessings that Jupiter has on offer. But that's funny, because Mercury is in opposition to Jupiter. It's been kind of holding back, going, yeah, here's the thing. There's this work that I'm going to have to do. I might have to change my mind about some things. I might have to take an entirely different approach when it comes to the way I speak and plan and communicate and do my day-to-day things. And these are changes that feel like a lot of work for me. So, demonstrate to me that it's really worth the while, basically. But, Mars has been helping us. We've been going through this for a few days. Mercury was direct, and then it was stationing, and now it's moving backwards. So it's almost like Mars and Jupiter came into this aspect with Mercury just to give us a heads up about the things we're going to have to take action on, in terms of our day-to-day thoughts, plans, and communications in order to reach that expansion to take action on that expansion that we seek, right? So Mercury right now, doesn't want to do the work, but we have probably given it some thought. We have isolated a few habits that we have, a few mental ways of being that we have, a few verbal patterns that we use, just day-to-day habits and ways of being that we have that are getting in the way of our ability to pursue that expansion. And now that we are aware of it and we are here at the full moon, it's time to just release them, to start letting them go, to take action, to release anything that has been holding you back from your ability to act in the direction of that personal expansion. And with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and turn this over. Okay, we got the Page of Wands. Can't remember if we've had this one recently or no, not that it matters that much, but we have had a lot of wands come up during this decan with the Nine of Pentacles. And that is appropriate to me because Mars is on fire here, okay? Mars is aspecting with Venus, the Sun, with Mercury, with the Moon and Neptune and Jupiter, okay? Mars is Action Jackson at this point, okay? So Mars is that fiery sense of initiative. Mars rules Aries, right? So it's that fiery sense of initiative, of determination, of drive, of sort of, yes, we can, right? And with the Page of Wands, what we get is sort of like a fresh start, right? A beginning, not a complete new beginning, not like we're the fool and we don't know anything about what it is that we are embarking on, but actually more like we have some experience using this sense of drive and determination and enthusiasm to unlock achievements in our lives. And, we may be seeking to unlock some achievements now that we are new to, but it's not without having some experience on our side already, right? So this Page of Wands already knows what it takes to meet a goal, to, what kind of enthusiasm, what kind of action, what kind of sense of initiative and momentum it takes to meet a goal, and now they want to meet a new goal. Now they're looking forward, sort of off into the future, and saying, yes, there's a higher goal for me. There's a taller hill that I wish to climb than the one that I'm standing on right now. So that's really great news, because it speaks to that initiative we have toward the growth that we seek in our lives, and it speaks to that blessing that we have in terms of our ability to transform our day-to-day activities into things that help us move forward toward a more complete expression of who we wish we could be, do, and have, what we wish to be, do, and have in this life. So, taken together, I'm just going to look at the fire signs here as well. Aries has Jupiter and Chiron in Aries right now. Moon will be in Aries tomorrow. So that's a lot of initiative in terms of our personal healing, especially around old social wounds, times we got teased or had embarrassing or upsetting moments, that scarred us for life, right? Those scars are not really for life. We do heal from them after a while, and after a while we can put down the old defenses, and that's what that is saying, is like, we can make this fresh start right now. Jupiter is sitting in Aries saying we expand through action, and then Mars is sextile to Jupiter saying, yes, we can take action and make this expansion. So that's really like a doubled up effort there. And no planets currently in Leo or in Sagittarius, but that's okay. Aries and Mars don't mind taking care of all the fire on the page, right? The sun is also a fiery one. Sun is exalted when it's in Aries, but it's not in Aries right now. It's over here in Virgo, just working, right? So taken together with the Nine of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, you know, can sort of represent, you know, like Nine of Pentacles is a moment of culmination where we have, you know, done the work and we can sort of sit back and enjoy the fruits of our labor. But, you know, doing that sort of like with the full moon, right? Like we've done the work to culminate our goals. And at this point we can pause and sort of sit back and, you know, appreciate what we have achieved so far. Enjoy the fruits of our labor. Enjoy the connections we have made, the relationships we've made, the things we've built, the security that we are experiencing in our lives right now, okay? Pat ourselves on the back, pat other people on the back, and, you know, really just sit back and enjoy that. But after the celebration, right, comes more work. You know, we have to make a fresh start. This is also reminding me of that sort of Six of Wands to Seven of Wands, right? Like after you have that celebration, after everybody turns out to pat you on the back, then, you know, come the people who want to compete with you, right? So then you have to make a choice. Are you going to sit here and compete and try to maintain the high ground you've achieved, or are you looking ahead to higher ground yet? And this is saying, okay, have your culmination, enjoy the fruits of your labor, and then, you know, also think about what it is that you're passionate about and what you're going to do next, because we don't just get to come to an end point and stay there. We don't get to just rest on our laurels. We can't just sit here in this garden for the rest of our lives and enjoy these fruits. We have to keep working. We have to keep working the garden. We have to grow the garden. We might have to knock down some walls and expand the garden to really achieve the level of security ultimately that we're going to need. But, you know, this is just an ending point, a culmination point where we have done well and we can celebrate ourselves. And after we're done celebrating ourselves, it's time to make a fresh start. It's time to seek that higher peak, seek that greater achievement, seek that expanded way of being, doing, and having that we want for our lives, right? Always be in pursuit of that. Especially because the moon also goes into Aries tomorrow. And this is a pretty Aries vibe. You know, the page is youthful and very hopeful and very enthusiastic, perhaps a little impatient and restless. So understand that as those feelings are coming in, that's a natural way to feel when the moon is about to go into Aries, okay, which is tomorrow morning. So while we are in the moon in Pisces, really feeling the vibe of the good company we keep and enjoying ourselves and relaxing and reflecting, we know that tomorrow morning is going to be a different approach, a different way of doing things, because we've got to get started all over again. And I believe that's all I have to say about it for the third or fourth time. My name is Mel Rose. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate your presence here. And I'll see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today and Tarot.